I just had one of the most weird and pleasurable experiences with a stranger that I've had in a long time. So I'm on my way home, and I'm in the train station, and I look at the token machine thingies, and both of them are basically out of order. One says single rides only, no debit or credit cards, cash only, and the other one says cash only. So I have a Fares Metro card, which makes my rides half fare because I'm poor. And I go and I realize as I'm doing the little transaction that I'm like 5 cents short. Again, not really registering that the machine is like, you can't use credit card, whatever. So I do that, and then I like, oh shit, I don't have enough money. And the guy in the token booth is like watching me through the little window the whole time. So I go up to him, and I'm just like annoyed with myself and tired, but I flash him a big smile, and I'm like, good evening. I'm 5 cents short for the train. I emptied out all the bits that I had in my pocket, and I don't have any more cash. So he goes, swipe your card, on a little thing. And I swiped it, and he sees that I am indeed telling the truth, and I indeed have a half fare Metro card, so I am indeed poor. So I'm expecting him to like kind of maybe reprimand me or admonish me for not being prepared and being, an adult and being in the middle of a pandemic and knowing that things are not working properly, and just buzz me in like, okay, you've got this one time. I see you tried, so I'll buzz you in. No, dude digs in his pocket and he hands me a $5 through the window. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, so I'll bring you back your change. And he was like, no, this never happened. This never happens. This never happens. So I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Like, I really thank you. And I do the transactions, and I put the money on my card, and I go through, I pay, and I go through, and he goes, yeah, so he was saying this never happened, but I thought he was saying this never happens, as in he never, this is his first time giving a passenger money, from his own kit. So then I realized he was trying to tell me, like, don't mention it, and I am directly mentioning it. Well, okay, so he was, you guys don't know what train station, you don't know who he is, you don't know where I live, where I am, any of that, where I'm going, where I've been, but he was like, this never happened. So then I looked at him and I was like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. And he smiled, this beautiful melanated being smile with the beautiful white teeth and, just melanated skin. And he smiles and he winks at me. So I turn around and I start to come up the stairs, and then I don't know, something was like, go back. So I go back, and he is still in the booth, and he has his head in his hands, and it was just like a very like emotional kind of gesture that he was doing. And since we had already had that connection, I felt justified in like actually coming back through the gate and asking him if he was okay. So I went through the turnstile and I asked him, like, is everything okay? Are you okay? And he looks up and he has like wet eyes, like tears in his eyes, and he goes, you remind me so much of my sister. And I was just like, okay, and he was like, everything about you, your smile, your swag, the way you are, just like the timbre, your voice, you remind me of my sister. So when he said that, I just was like, I thought that she had probably crossed over, and I was like, thank you. What the? Okay, there is Okay, this is just a very weird night. There's some fuckery going on back there. But so I just assumed that his sister had crossed over. So I stood there like not really sure what to do now. And I smiled and I'm like, thank you. I'm taking that as a compliment. Thank you very much. He goes, yeah, you reminded me that I should probably call her. And I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. She's obviously not passed away or crossed over. And then he proceeds to tell me that they gotten into a really big argument about a year ago over something just kind of frivolous, and it built up and it got out of hand, and her boyfriend got into it, and there was some physical altercation and some cops were called and everything. But he was just like, when I saw you, I almost thought you were her, and my heart like skipped a beat. And when you smiled and you came up to me, he's like, I know you're a grown woman. He's like, but you just have this like innocence about you, like this quality. And he was like, you were just so confident, you like sauntered up to the booth and you're like, good evening, sir, good evening, mate. And so I said, call her. I was like, call her. And he was like, now? And I was like, yeah, call her right now. Call her while I'm standing here. Call her. So he did. He called her. And she answered on like the second ring, like hello. Like I could actually hear her, like no lie, I could actually hear her through the phone, through the booth. She was like, hello, and she was like, oh, Jamie, like I haven't like she was so happy, and tears just started pouring down this man's face. And it was just like fucking amazing. And I just like gave him a wave and a wink, and I turned around and he buzzed me through, and I went back. I'm back upstairs at the train station waiting for the train. But that was just fucking awesome. And as I'm walking away, I can hear them talking. I can hear him laughing. So, story time. There you go. Put that in your pockets. I'm going home.